So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to copy this and I'm going to paste it into this message box so that we can see it. And this tells you that input name, and I think it was this one I clicked up here, which is name, and this is the SureForm ID for this form field. And these are going to become important when we start to talk about packages. And in the video that's going to come after this, you can see more in depth how I do this. I also talk you through how I use Hoverfly to do it as well. But for this purpose of this video, that is where I got that information from, because I'm going to use it. I'm going to actually use it from a file that I have here. I'm going to use the variables that I've got here to build out our form. And I wanted you to know where I got them from and how I got them. It's because I've already done it once, and I don't think anyone wants to sit here and watch me do it again for another 5 minutes. So I'm not sure which order these videos are going to come out in, whether this one's going to be first or the previous one is going to be first. I think it'll probably be this one because this is a newer way, and I just wanted to go through both together. I might even release them together. I might actually do them one after the other so that you can watch them as a series. It depends if I can get editing on both of them done before I have to leave today. Now, we've done that, so I'm going to head into packages and go through this package with you. So I've got a package here, and I've called it test web form, and there's all sorts of options here that I don't need to go into. I've got it on live debug mode, and the reason for that is so that we can see what's going on. So the first thing I'm going to do here is I'm just going to talk you generically through the steps. So it goes to the site, it fills in the name, fills in the email, clicks the drop down, pushes down arrow twice, types in the message. So this is the select an option, then types in the message in the message box and submits the form. And what I'm going to do is, it's this form here, and it's going to send a form to this email address here. I'm going to delete this one here, which is from my previous video. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to head over to packages, and I'm going to run this package so that you can see how it runs behind the scenes. So you'll see in the bottom corner it's saying it's going to run. In a second it will pop up a window. We might get to see the window open. I could put a wait in here to do that, and you'll see that it's trying to fill out browser forms, and it is filling them out, and it's sent, and it's so quick you couldn't see it. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to actually modify this and add a quick step in. So we're going to go add step, and we're going to modify this. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to drag this one up here to go to site, and I'm just going to put a wait time in here. I believe there is a wait for, and I'm just going to put 10,000 milliseconds. I put 5,000. 5 should be enough. Wait. And I'm just going to press save, and then I'm going to run that package again so that you can see what happens, hopefully a little bit faster. It'll pop up on the screen, and then you'll be able to see it a little bit quicker. But you can see how fast it is. So our browser is loading, it's running, and now it's waiting for our 5,000 milliseconds, and it should load up visually for us, which it is doing, and you'll see it's filling in the forms fields, and it's sending. And now it's sent our email to us with our details on. And if we go up here, we'll see we've got 2 web forms, one from each of the runs that we just run, giving us our details. And actually you'll see it's skipped 2 of the items here because they probably haven't been set right in this example. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to try and rebuild this, and I'm going to focus on the drop down and in fact I'll focus on the drop down and the name, email and message. I'll ignore the phone number for now, mainly because it's 2 boxes and I don't want this video to be too long. So what I'm going to do is actually rebuild this. So I'm going to go out of packages, and I'm going to go back to packages, and I'm going to create a new one, and I'm going to call it video. So we've got our video form, and the first thing I want to do is add a new item, and I believe what I want here is called browser, and it is. So we're just going to call this the web form. Should we now say web form, which it does, and what we're going to do is we're going to leave that like that. We want it to be on a live debug mode. We're going to push add step, and then I'm going to edit this step, and then we're going to build it all out from here. So our first step is going to be to go to the site, and I'm just going to copy that URL from off screen, and we're going to call it go to site. And I'm going to build this exactly as we just run it. So that's the site it will go to. Then we're going to add a step, and I'm going to put a wait in here. which we're going to call weight, and I'm going to scroll down until we find weight, 4 milliseconds, and we put 5,000. And I'm going to add another step to fill in the name. And actually what I'm going to do first is I'm actually, because the order that they've filled in doesn't matter, what I'm going to do here is I'm going to test the drop down, because the drop down should have worked and it didn't appear to work. So I want to see if we can get it to work. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to just check the inspection here of the drop down and just check I've got the name right, which it appears I do. No, that's the area. Control ID is TS control. Is that what we've got? I don't know. Yeah, it is what we've got. So I'm going to copy that. I'm going to head over to packages. So I think I've got this right. So we're going to go to click on something because we want it to click on the locator. So we go locator. We'll put this detail on, and we'll go click on the drop down. And I'm going to go to the form and say if we click on the drop down, what happens? We only want to go down one, don't we? So if we click on it, is 1 second enough, millisecond enough? Yeah, I think it is. So we want to carry on for that, and then I'm actually going to add a very short wait time here. No, actually, I will leave that. I'm now going to push down. Now, this is a key press, and we want down. So I'm going to save this now. Key press. I'm going to save this now, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to run this so we can see what happens. Because running it a few times, although it costs credits, is probably the best way of building your form and getting it right the first time. So hopefully we'll be able to see the browser because of the weight, but we won't have long here. Finish with an error. Keyboard down. Unexpected string got undefined. Okay, so that did not work. So what we're going to do is I'm going to modify this again. So we're going to go press a key, and we're going to go press now. And we are going to use one of our keyboard shortcuts. Now these are the ones listed. It does say that it's linked to Playwright, and I've opened Playwright up, and there is a set of keys here, and what we're going to use is arrow down. So I'm going to copy that, go back to packages, and I'm going to do arrow down plus arrow down, and that should now select decorating from our form. So I think that should be enough. So let's try that, and we're going to run that package. And I'm actually going to increase this wait time to 7,500 so that we are got a chance of seeing it, because really we need to see it to do this. I think we are there, but I just want to be sure. So it's waiting, still waiting, still waiting. Will it load in time? I don't know. And there we go. I think that just worked, and it did. So that's it. We now can select decorating. So we've now built our steps out. So we've gone to the site, we've waited, we've clicked on the drop down. Now what I'm going to do here, and as I said to you, the order doesn't matter, but I am going to pull them up here. We're going to fill in the name and email address. I think is above it, isn't it? Yeah, we're going to fill the name and the email address out now. As I say, I'm going to skip the telephone number on this particular version for speed, and we're going to look at the name. I just need to pull up my file because I closed it, and I believe this is the name for the name. So we want to fill a field. Hashtag. Oh, I've already put the hashtag on it, and we want the fill value for this one to be and we'll put that as in add name, and we're going to add a new step, and I'm going to drag this one up here as well. As I say, the order doesn't matter. I'm doing this so that we know we've done everything that we want to do. So I'm going to grab the email off my Selenium script, and I'm going to put it in here, and we want this one to be like so, and we're going to put email address. So we've now filled out gone to our site, we wait, we add our name, our email address, we do our drop down, name, email address, we do our drop down. So it's a message and then a send. So the next thing we need to do is add another step, and this time I'm going to put it at the bottom, and we're going to click on this one, and we're going to say enter message. And I'm going to fill a field. The locator for message is text area, and this is an automatic form test. Please ignore, and we are good for that one. Now we're going to add a step, and this is going to be our submit. So what I'm going to do with this one is submit form, and I'm going to make a slight modification to this one because I'm going to show you how to get the data for the submit button, because I'm not sure if I showed this on the last video. So we are going to do a click on something in this case, and we are going to do a locator, and we're going to go and get that locator. So this is what we want to click on, and we inspect it, and you'll see here we have the div class, and we want to go just one above it to this button style here, and this is the ID we want. So I'm going to copy that. I'm just going to put the hashtag in and our submit button, and I'm going to push save, and we should be pretty much there now. So I'm going to delete our form, so I've already done it from here, and I'm going to run this package. Don't need to run any keys. And it will start to run, and we should get to hopefully see this time, because we've increased it to 7,500. I will scroll down as quick as I can. It's already filling in the details, so we've got decorating. It didn't select their option, so we need to put another option in there. I don't know if you saw that, but we didn't quite get that. It looks like it submitted and it worked, but we didn't get a service wanted. So we still need to tell it to click one more time, to maybe push enter, and we're going to try that. So click one, enter. So it's enter. We need to get it to click enter. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go back, and you can see how the logic works here. How I'm using the keyboard to see what I'd have to do. You could click on it and select it, and I don't know if that would work actually, just selecting it as a selector. We could try that. We know this doesn't work, so let's do that. So let's modify this. We've got click on drop down, and we've got key presses. So I'm just going to add a new step, which I'm going to drag up from the bottom, and I'm going to put it before click on drop down, and I'm going to say click on something, locator, and we're going to find one of these and inspect it. Inspects, and it is Tom select 1 option 2. So let's try that. So we are next step in. We call this click. I think it was decorating, but it doesn't matter what it is. Click on option, call it, and we're going to do a click something. We're going to put our details in here. We're going to save that, and we're going to run our package. And even if we miss it this time, we'll know if it worked, because we know what we did previously didn't work, because we didn't get a option in our email for service wanted, and any other email we should get an option. So we're going back to this. We can see what it does, and it's selected decorating, and it looks like we'll get one this time. So we give that a second for the email to come. It's run, it's executed as expected. Our contact form is here, and we now get decorating selected. So as you can see the steps that I went through there to correct the mistake within the logic, and you need to think about how you do these steps. So actually in our package here, we don't need the down arrow. We can do it via click options. So if we modify one of these again and we go click on an option, we can delete the key presses. We don't need them, I don't believe. And so we've got click on drop down, click on option, enter message, submit form. And I said I wasn't going to do the telephone number, but we're going to do that as well now and give it a go as well. So add a step. We've got an untitled step here. So I believe the telephone number comes before the drop down. So yeah, it does. So we want that there, and we're just going to build in this telephone number. So phone number, and I want it to enter it into the field, fill a field. We're going to get the locator because I don't have this one. Inspect. It is this one here. Copy that, and we will fix that when we get to the other side. We want this selector to remove the speech marks, and we want the value to be I don't know how many fields this has to be. Give me a second. 10. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So 10 should be enough. So I'm going to push save, and now we should get a phone number. If we don't, we'll modify it. Hopefully we can see the behavior we need. We don't need a key. And we're again running it. Hopefully we'll get to see what we want here. The layout of this page makes it a little bit complicated. What I should probably have done is removed this thing. We've entered our phone number. You can see it's gone in, and we push send. So if we get a submission, we'll probably get the phone number this time as well. We should get the phone number. We saw it entered. Just waiting for it to come. It definitely run, didn't it? No spam. Well, while we wait for that, I'll run it one more time, because maybe I deleted it by mistake. So it's running in the background now. As you see, this takes very little time. You've got to remember we've got an artificial 7.5-minute timer there as well in the background to hold in that waiting list so we can physically see what's going on. But you'll see that it fills in everything that we want. Oh, what's it say? Please use a valid phone number. So maybe it's failing validation. That's why we're not getting an email. So let's try that in our form. So we put 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Please enter a valid phone number. So that's why it's not passing our valuation. It's definitely doing our input, but the form's got a validation item on it. So let me try and work out a telephone number that will work, and I will pause this video and I will come back and we'll change it and resubmit it. Okay, I've done a little bit of work. I found a number for a hotel chain, and this works. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to head back to packages. I'm going to modify this phone number. I'm going to change this value to what we've just put in without the spaces. We want it as all one word. It should fill in itself. Save, and we're going to run the package one more time, and hopefully this time it will go through that validation check. And while we're all talking about validation checks, why this is going through fine and mine is not, is A, because it's probably a clean IP, it doesn't batter Cloudflare, so there's no issue there. And B, I'm not filling in my captcha. It's still not accepted that number. Okay, I see. It's because it's making it a US number. Just did the selector field for the telephone number, and I'm going to run this again. My hope here is that we are now using +44 in. It should automatically select, and we should get our contact form. So we're going to our site, and I'm going to run this package, and no keys needed. And the hope is that it loads. I have moved the contact page up to the top of the form here, up to the top here, and it is running. And what we're looking for here is a successful run, trying to fill out input fields. It's filled out the phone, it's done, debugging. Oh, it says it's completed. So we should get an email if it completed okay. And oh, we did. There you go. So it has worked. So now we get John Doe, our telephone number, and decorating, and this is an ongoing test. Please ignore. So what was happening there? I've got no idea. I think I had the wrong selector in phone number, and I now have the right selector in phone number. So that's fixed all of that, and that's our form now filled in and done. And this is the painstaking part of this, is making sure you get the right selector to do what you want. And in our case, when we came to the drop downs, it was that we needed to click things, and when it comes to the telephone number, we need to fill a field. And I'm going to run that one more time, and you'll see that we will talk through the steps as we do. So let me see if I can open the steps and talk through the steps. But you're going to, we don't get to see it because it's still too fast. I'm actually going to remove the wait as well, because it doesn't load because it's so fast anyway. So what we're going to do is we're going to go to the site. They're going to add its name, an email address, a phone number. It's going to click on the drop down. It's going to select the option. It's going to enter a message, and it's going to send it to us. So I'm going to run that package. I'm going to push run now, and I'm going to head over to the contact form and talk you through it. It's going to fill in this, then a number in here, then select decorating, and then type its message. And by the time we go back, I imagine it is almost finished. And you can see all the positive steps it's done here, and it's finished. And we should get a email contact form to tell us that it's done in our emails any second. And there it is. And there's our second run. Oh, no, there's our second run. Same details, and that's how simple it is to test your web forms using packages. And now once you've built this package, it runs, and it runs every time. So now we have this package, we've built it, it tests. We can run this many times. I can run this one after the other if I wanted to by cloning the form, and then it will run twice on this run, but we don't want to do that. But we could build up multiple web tests in one. So I've got this one, but maybe you want to run this one test for 20 forms. You could have 20 versions of this form here, so they're all around. And I'm not going to run 20 of them, but I'll tell you what I will do. I'll signal them together, and I will delete these. And what I will do is I will loop this 3 times. So I want to node to this one. Oh, let's put them in order. Node to node to node. So what now happens is this is going to use 3 credits because this is 3 runs, and I'm going to run this package and run it 3 times. And what it'll do now is it'll run the same package 3 times, but in this example, you're going to expect them to be 3 separate forms. I should turn live debug off as well. And now that we've done it, oh, you can see it filling it all in. This time it runs, and you see it. So it's done that one, and it's going to do it again, and maybe we'll get to see all 3 of them run with a debug. Now we've got the weight off them, so you see it filling it in. Same again. We've already got one email. We'll get another one in a second up the top here, and we'll get the same in a second for the 3rd form. So it's all you already see. It's doing the browser event. It's nearly finished, and that's it. It's done the 3rd test. That's 3 tests in a row that it's done. So I'm going to head over to Google, and we've got 2. And we've just got another one here, 3. So we've got 3 all within the space of a few seconds of each other. You saw how quick that is. It ran 3 tests against 3 web forms. It could have been 3 separate web forms, and it's run them. And I will do a separate video later on about triggering this using a webhook with something like Flowmatic, so you can put it on a timer, but you can also run these on timers as well. You have all sorts of options about how they run, etc. And I will go through some more options for setting these and running these later in other videos. But yeah, this is how you would use something like packages, and in this specific example, packages to test your web forms. And hopefully that's been useful. If you like this video, please do like and subscribe to the channel. Thank you.